Hi, it's your PsychoBuddy. I was restrained punitively, involuntarily, 4-point restraint, which means both wrists and both ankles tied to, for me, a bed on my face and left there for 13 hours as punishment for putting paint in my hair at Pueblo State Mental Hospital, Colorado State Mental Hospital in Pueblo when I was 17. It was very illegal then, and because you're not allowed to use restraint punitively, you can only use it if a person is like a direct, immediate, violent harm, like violent threat, trying to hurt themselves or trying to hurt other people right then. And obviously, you can't leave someone there for 13 hours. I think since then, that hospital has gone through, has been attacked legally and is no longer allowed to use restraint at all because of their practices, which is great. They may be a great hospital now, don't take this wrong, but they weren't then when I was there. It was one of the most traumatizing experiences that I've had up there with rape and probably incest. Probably as bad as incest because it's had a huge impact on my willingness to seek help from hospitalization. It's kind of just a horror story. How it felt. I was standing on the radiator with my fingers in the grates of the radiator in the white isolation room that had a door with a window in it and no handle, and a window with a bunch of grates inside and grates outside. And these two big policemen had hauled me over from the kids' group home, because again, I was 17, where I had been they had taken me off all my medication, so I had gone psychotic, and I had a lot of energy, and they wouldn't let me dance because it scared people. And so I put this bright paint in my hair, and they came in my bedroom and told me to take it out, and I said, why? And they closed the door. And next, two big policemen came, and they hauled me to the isolation building and then put me in the little white room, and I was standing on the radiator with my fingers in the grate, tweeting at a bird. It was raining, and they opened the door and they said, get down from the radiator. And I said, why? A woman did. And she didn't say anything. She closed the door. And when I heard them coming back, I went and stood in the corner with my arms crossed behind my back of the room, because I meant, what I was trying to say was, if you want a slave, I'll be your slave. I was like, for me, symbolism was everything right then. And they came in and said, we need you to get on the bed. And instead of saying why this time, I just did that with my hands. And these big men grabbed me and threw me onto the bed and held me down and tied me down. The experience of being involuntarily restrained is terrifying, because your defenses are totally overwhelmed and you're vulnerable to a very aggressive energy. In my opinion, there's nothing therapeutic about restraint. It is incredibly traumatizing. It has been for me. A difficult one to get over. The multiple personality, there was a definite split. Without question, one or more parts came to my rescue while I was tied down for those 13 hours. In the middle of the night, they came and let me go to the bathroom. And when they woke me up, like I woke up in the middle of the night and asked them to please let me go to the bathroom, and the big policeman came and let me go to the bathroom, and then went back, and in a state of complete docility, like mostly asleep, he made me submit to being tied down again. And I remember thinking, if my brain can break, it's breaking now. My brain is breaking now. And I talked to them, the voices, and I played songs. I drummed on the blue mattress, or it was green. I drummed on the green plastic mattress with my hands, and I had this white towel under my face, and it had flecks of color from the paint in my hair after the acrylic paint dried. It flecked down onto the white towel, and every once in a while I would not really spit, but the blood from my screaming would come onto the towel, so it was flecked with that blood, because I was screaming and no one would come. And that was a big part of the trauma, was being left there for so long. Help me, please, please, somebody come talk to me, help me, and no one will come. And it was awful. If you have a job where you are required to forcibly restrain children, I encourage you to quit. You're doing them harm. There are other ways to deal with it. There are de-escalation techniques that you're doing them harm. And I would encourage, if you really believe in restraint, if you believe that it's really necessary in serving the person you're serving, you need to be restrained. You don't have a right to take away someone's complete physical freedom unless you've had yours taken away. If you really believe in it, then ask a big man you know. Leave your house unlocked. You'll know it's going to happen. Ask them to come over to your house in the middle of the night, wake you up, and restrain you forcibly. You won't do it again.